To get your fix. Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready to get your fix? With the Wicks here on this beautiful Tuesday, November 30th, 2021, and welcome to the show, whether that be on Facebook or on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. It'd be much appreciated. Week 12, though, is now officially over after last night's matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington football team, in which we will get to in just a bit. Now, today is also True Identity Tuesday, where I will attempt, and do my best to really dive into a couple teams that I feel like we have a good understanding of what some of those teams, or those teams that I'm talking about, are all about. All right. I mean, I will also dive into some other news around the NFL, like I always, do. But first, I'm excited to announce that the show is going to get a little bit better. Hopefully, we'll see how it works out. I'd assume it's going to be better, as I have kind of, been using this creative brain of mine up here to kind of dabble into what would make this show a little bit better here and there, and I'm just pumped about it. I know you guys don't know quite yet what that is. We will figure out, though, for sure, starting next week on Monday when the show kicks off, previewing or doing all my takeaways from Sunday's slate of games and stuff. So that will be very exciting, not only for myself, but hopefully for the viewers that are watching this continuously, Monday through Friday, at 6 p.m. Central Time, like always. But I think it's time we dive into the world of football. Are you ready to get your fix? So last night, we obviously had the Seattle Seahawks traveling to take on the Washington football team in, what was really a weird game. All right, low scoring, a whole bunch of mumbo-jumbo was happening with Washington, and the Seattle Seahawks look a little rocky, if you were to ask me. They lose. Washington football team beat the Seattle Seahawks last night, 17-15. Could have been a lot worse. Had their kicker not pulled his hamstring to begin the game, basically. That was very unfortunate. He pulled his hamstring trying to make a tackle, just bolting down the field, sprinting his heart out, just, okay. Then he just slides. He's like, oh, shit, something just happened. His hamstring, fucking see you later. And he had to sit out the rest of the game. This meant that they would either have to use their punter, Tress Way, as their kicker for the rest of the game, kicking field goals, kicking extra points, and they pulled up a stat. And it said, look, Tress Way was, when he was in college, he was 11 of 11 on extra points. Field goals, however, I believe it was 2 of 9 that he made, or 3 of 9, or something like that. A very bad kind of, how do you want to put it, ratio right there for him. Like, he can make those extra points when he's set up exactly where he needs to be and exactly knows how to aim at that point, until you move him back and you move him to the side a little bit and you move him to the other side. Wind takes a part in that, and things kind of don't go his way. So then option B was, let's go for it on every 4th down, and if we score a touchdown, let's go for 2, because we really don't have a kicker that is capable of, making having a high percentage chance, or high percentage chance, I guess, of making a field goal or an extra point. So that's exactly what Washington had to do all game yesterday. Had to go for 2, had to go for it when it hit 4th down, unless they were a little far back, and then they ended up ultimately punting using Tress Way. But Washington has gone through 3 kickers this year. Started the season off with Dustin Hopkins and then moved their way all the way down to Joey Sly. Pulled his hamstrings, probably going to miss a couple weeks. He usually hamstrings about 4 weeks, something like that, to really come back from. And being a kicker, I mean, that is that's a big hit for Washington last night. But they pulled away with it. They won the game somehow, 17-15. Russell Wilson for the Seattle Seahawks actually played pretty decent, I would say, for the most part. 20 of 31 passing, 247 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he was also the Seattle Seahawks leading rusher. Thanks for that. That was absolute bullshit because I needed four fantasy points from Alex Collins. That's all I needed. 4 points to get me a dub, still give me a chance at probably not that great of a chance going to the playoffs in the fantasy football, where I am currently now 3-9. That is just hoorah for me. I think I could have drafted a little bit better. That's for sure. Took all those big names right away and forgot, hey, I need a fucking running back. Even though all the running backs were kind of taken, but it is what it is. Didn't get those fucking 4 points. And I knew that was going to happen as soon as Alex Collins decides to fucking run out to his left side. He's right next to the sideline, and the fucking guy behind him just thump, pops the ball, and it fucking flies. Fumble. -2 points. I was right there. All he needed was 10 more yards, and I would have won. And he gets -2 for the fumble, and he's really non-existent the rest of the game. They started to roll with DJ Dallas, who didn't do shit either. Okay, Alex Collins actually had a better day rushing, had a better day receiving. DJ Dallas just had that, pretty solid punt return or kick return game that really forced the Seattle Seahawks to go his way. I feel like, and especially with that fumble happening and stuff, Seattle's just trying to find literally any way capable of, winning games. They're just going out there doing whatever it kind of takes to try to put up a fight to win the game. A lot of spunk I guess out of there from the Seattle Seahawks defense. Jamal Adams was hyped up, screaming at the sidelines, getting all jacked up, but ultimately couldn't get it done. And one big thing, even though Tyler Lockett did have 96 yards last night, a big takeaway, and this has been for the past couple weeks, okay? Seattle Seahawks have stopped going to their wide receivers. Damn near fucking just bit my lip off. That fucking is what it is. But they have stopped going to their wide receivers. 5 targets for Tyler Lockett last night, only 3 catches, 96 yards, like I mentioned not too long ago. DK Metcalf, 4 targets, most of them came in the second half, and only 1 catch. That explosive offense that we are so used to seeing for however many years now, especially last year, those big plays to DK, the big plays to Tyler Lockett, you got to use the pass game with Russell Wilson because he's able to roll outside the pocket and rush or scramble for, 5 to 10, 15 yards. If need be, you really don't need that strong of a running back behind him, or that good of a running back, that means, behind him. They had Chris Carson. They lose him for the season with an ACL tear. Now they have to move forward, go to Alex Collins. Alex Collins starts rolling a little bit, hitting on all cylinders, and all of a sudden he starts to slow down. Oh, shit, now what do? We got DJ Dallas. He's played in the NFL for a little bit. Let's put him into the mix. He ain't doing shit either. Can't establish a run game. Can't establish the pass game. Your offensive line can't protect Russell Wilson to save their lives. Like, literally at all, Russell Wilson just looks like a chicken with his head cut off basically back there. And I get it. Last night they played a pretty solid Washington football team front four and Montez Sweat and Chase Young and all those guys. Well, Chase Young wasn't in there, I don't think, because I think he got hurt last week or 2 weeks ago, something like that. So it's just mind-boggling to think that Seattle's just starting to go away they're going away from what really got them to the position they are. Russell Wilson has never had a losing season in his career, and he only needs one more loss to do so. And that's huge. This whole this whole offseason, it was a lot of talk surrounding, hey, what's happening with Russell? Is Russell going to be a Chicago Bear? What's going to transpire? Is Russell going to be a San Francisco 49er? He doesn't like the relationship that him and Pete Carroll have built for however many years, and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, okay, what's going on here? Something's not right in that Seattle Seahawks organization, whether that be the head coach and Pete Carroll, or whether that be with Russell Wilson. Trying to spoil that relationship, maybe trying to cause bad vibes there. You want to get Russell out, let's get Russell out. It's not Pete's fault. Russell just can't do shit, can't throw the deep ball anymore, his finger's broken and stuff like that. Really kind of curious of what is truly happening over there in Seattle, because with them going away from the run game, and they have no run game at all, it's like you gotta figure a way to get that pass game going, and they sort of did, and they sort of have figured it out a little bit, the pass game. But without that rush game, or without that run game, it's really, really hard to win ball games. Really hard to, take time off the clock, and we're going to get to that here in a bit for when True Identity Tuesday segment gets underway. But they need to figure something out in a big, big way over there in Seattle, because it is not fun to watch, and not fun to... Probably not fun for Seattle fans at all, as well. So, tough game. Taylor Heinicke is a guy. Okay, he balled out last night, led Washington to a victory. Okay, with no kicker. He had to go for it on every fourth down. Had to go for 2-point conversions. Some didn't complete, some did. And he went 27 to 35, 223 yards, a touchdown and an interception. If he doesn't have the interception, I think Washington probably wins this by another touchdown or so. Okay, Taylor Heinicke is the man right now for Washington, and he might be capable of leading them to a playoff run. Right now, they'd be in the playoffs. Minnesota, how you doing? Keep it moving. That's kind of how I look at it, and that's how everyone's going to be looking at it. If we don't fucking pick it up, god damn it, it's just tough going. But Antonio Gibson, their run game was pretty good with him, 29 rushes, 111 yards. But with no kicker for Washington, and a beat-up defense for the most part, their defense played phenomenal. I mean, they were all over the field last night. Landon Collins made a couple huge plays, especially for the game-sealing interception on which the Seattle Seahawks found a way to march all the way down the field, score a touchdown with a wide-open Swain or whatever his name is, and go for two. Another fucking situation where right off the bat, I'm like, hey, DK's open. He's going to the right corner of the end zone, right back corner of the end zone. Just fucking hit him. You can obviously do it. We've seen you do it multiple times. You know what he does? He goes right for a guy, okay, I believe it was maybe his tight end, who is double covered. Like super, super tight. There's no way he's going to get that ball off. Even if he does, or get in between them, it's going to get knocked out. It's going to be incomplete. You're not going to come down with it. Why the hell are you making that throw? Russell, something has to be, figured out here. Because you're not playing good football. You're playing sloppy football. This offense for that Seattle Seahawks is really non-existent. Couldn't really do much. Their offense just couldn't capitalize on a lot of things. So it's very, very tough to see, but we'll see kind of how the rest of their season kind of transpires, and we'll get to them here in a little bit as well. But tough loss there for Seattle. Big, big, big loss for Seattle. Nice win, though, for Washington, taking the dub 17-15 over Seattle, with Week 12 officially being over. Week 13 is now officially underway with Thursday's matchup. I think it's the Saints and the Cowboys, so that will be a awesome showing of an event. But let's move on to Chase Claypool. Okay, we all know what the Steelers had coming, okay, to them this Sunday. Where Cincinnati just, literally pissed all over them. How you doing? Keep it moving. Pittsburgh, get out of here. This is our town. You don't belong here. And beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 41-10. Chase Claypool comes out and he says this. Let me pull it up here quick. It says, so Chase Claypool basically, he has suggested that the Steelers' practices could be more fun and feature music. Mike Tomlin had to answer this, question from the media. He said Claypool plays wide out, and I'll let him do that. I'll formulate the practice approach, and that division of labor is probably appropriate. So we could probably expect some music being played there at the Pittsburgh Steelers practice. But the Steelers are currently 5-1. They're third in the AFC North, but they have a tough finish. They play the Ravens, then they got the Vikings, then they got the Titans, then they got the Chiefs, then the Browns, and then they finish the year off with the Baltimore Ravens. If I had to guess, they're probably only going to win one of these games. And that might be against the Tennessee Titans, who are, struggling as of late. Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin, you guys might be in store for the first losing season since you were hired as head coach 14 years ago. And maybe this is his 15th year or something like that right now. But I agree with Chase to an extent, obviously. You got to figure out when the right time is to play music. You got to make sure it's loud or quiet enough so that if Tomlin has to say something and bring the offense together, you can do that and stuff like that. And I also really like it because I have, I have kind of experienced this where, when you're listening to music and you're working, you're kind of, you're grooving, you're doing your thing, and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I'm done? That went by fast. Like, let's go. Like, okay, hell yeah. So that will help with them. They'll be more energetic. They'll be happy. They'll be ready to learn. They'll be soaking it all in while having fun doing it. And when you're having fun, that's when you succeed the most. When you're miserable and you hate what you're doing and nothing's going your way, that is when you start losing. And losing big. And we seen that this past Sunday when they lost to the Cincinnati Bengals in a big way, got stomped on. But I do agree with Chase Claypool. Have a little bit more fun. Pete Carroll did this in Seattle. I don't know if he still does. Their record doesn't show that they do. But I would really like to see this kind of transpire or happen for Pittsburgh, because maybe it turns their season completely around. Maybe they end up going to the playoffs somehow and figuring out a way to have a winning season. So this will be big. Chase Claypool wants music. I say, give it to him. All right, just give him the music. Let them have their fun, and the rest is kind of history, and we'll follow from there. So let's dive in to True Identity Tuesday. We're going to start right off the bat with the Seattle Seahawks. We just talked about them losing in their lackluster offense and stuff like that. Well, the true identity of the Seattle Seahawks, in my opinion, is that they have a solid defense with a lackluster offense. They are currently sitting at 3-8. They're last in the NFC West. They have 3 teams in the NFL. Only 3 teams in the NFL have a worse record. That being, right now, the Seattle Seahawks are 3-8. Okay, one of them, or I guess 2 of them, are 2-9, and the last place team is 0-10-1 Lions. There's only one team with the exact same record, and that is the New York Jets, tied with them at 3-8. Seattle might get bumped down to the power rankings, folks. Like, that is very, very bad. And the reason why I say that they are a lackluster offense, they can't figure out how to do anything, they can't get anything going, is this, okay? According to @FieldYates or @EliasSports on Twitter, the Seahawks are currently averaging under 25 minutes of possession, lowest in the NFL. Over the past 45 years, one team has averaged under 25 minutes of possession for a season. The 1999 Browns, which was their first year back in the NFL. Seattle can't sustain drives. They can't get anything going. They don't know what works. They're not hitting their receivers. They have no backfield. Russell Wilson's playing with a banged up finger. Your defense can only do so much for so long. Seattle's in big, big trouble, and I don't see their season turning around at all. They are going to have a losing season, in the first one in Russell Wilson's career or tenure in Seattle. Their last 6 games this year, are against the 49ers, the Houston Texans, the Los Angeles Rams, the Chicago Bears, the Detroit Lions, and the Arizona Cardinals. They probably walk away with 2 wins. Finish the season at 5-12. That's not good. Something's going to change this offseason, and it's going to be massive. I don't think we're going to see Pete Carroll as their head coach. I don't think we're going to see Russell Wilson as their quarterback. And we might possibly see Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf leave the organization. That would be massive. And if it happens, you heard it here first, folks. I'm probably the only one that's ever said that and probably will say that. We never know. Things could all of a sudden flip-flop, see you later. Jamal Adams could be on his way out, wanting a winning team, wanting to have a chance to win a Super Bowl. That very well could end up happening. But like I said, Seattle's identity as of this point is a solid defense with a very lackluster offense. The next team and the final team we're going to talk about today, because like I said last week, True Identity Tuesday was made so that we could figure out and know the identities of teams going forward, week to week, what's happening, how you doing, keep it moving. But it's been hard. A lot of underdogs winning, a lot of upsets, a lot of how the fuck did that just happen? Like, what is going on here? And the New Orleans Saints are one team that I figured out. I think we know what their true identity is. Currently, they're sitting at 5-6. They're third place in the NFC South. And the last time I did them on True Identity Tuesday, they were sitting at 4-2 on the season. Second in their division behind the Tampa Bay Bucks. Now they're sitting behind the Bucks and the Falcons. Carolina's the only worst team behind them. They're on a 4-game losing streak. And they're a team, their identity is a team that needs their stars, kind of like Arizona, in a way. Alvin Kamara hasn't been playing. He's missed in a big, big way. No run game from the New Orleans Saints. No pass game without Jameis Winston or without a Michael Thomas. Things are not going well for the New Orleans Saints, and they need their stars. Last time I said their identity was Alvin Kamara, and they need him in a big way. They need a star receiver. They need that star quarterback. Otherwise, the Saints are in trouble. Their last 6 games this year are the Cowboys, the Jets, the Bucks, the Dolphins, the Panthers, and finish the year off with the Falcons. They're definitely going to beat the Jets. Maybe. Dolphins are figuring out their way. And then they got they're for sure they're going to get 1 win out of this, I feel like. Unless the Jets pull something out of their ass like they have a couple weeks in the past. But New Orleans is looking at a tough finish. It's going to be interesting to see where they kind of end up, starting at 4-2, and I did them on True Identity Tuesday last time, and now they're 5-6, trending in the wrong way. 4 straight losses. I don't know how many more straight losses they're going to have. They're probably going to go on a 5-game lose streak, losing to the Cowboys this week on Thursday, and then they have the Jets, which they'll win, but they'll lose to the Bucks. They might lose to the Dolphins. They might lose to the Panthers. They might lose to the Falcons. The Saints are a team that really needs their stars. So finally, let's talk about Man in the Arena, Tom Brady, which airs tonight, episode 3. It's on ESPN+. It is actually out already. They did this last week. They're going to continue to do it throughout the whole season. As soon as it hit fucking Tuesday, it's going to be up and ready. They say, oh, no, it airs at 8 p.m. Central Time or 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 p.m. over here in Central Time. And it's like, no, it doesn't, because you just put it out there the morning of. So, get your shit right. Like, what's going on here? But should be a banger because, episode 1 was a banger of a show. Tom is better than Drew. And I'm just kidding. Tom was chosen over Drew to lead the franchise of the New England Patriots and be under Bill Belichick and be the franchise quarterback. Episode 2 was another banger. Not as good as episode 1, obviously, but, it's still a banger. Okay, this one was a lot about Rodney Harrison beating Peyton Manning and the Colts in the old RCA Dome, and Tom winning another one. Episode 3 I'm glad I haven't seen anything on Twitter or Instagram or whatever about it, because that's going to make it that much sweeter when I go and watch it, and when you guys go and watch it. Tonight it airs. It's probably already up there, but otherwise, if it's not, which I'd assume it is, it'll be up at 8 p.m. Central Time. So that is going to be fun. I hope you guys watch that. That is all I have for you guys today on the show. Go enjoy the rest of your night. Watch Man in the Arena, Tom Brady documentary, episode 3 on ESPN+. That'll be a very, very good one. And if not, go enjoy the rest of your night doing whatever the hell you like to do, okay? Just have fun doing it. And we'll see you here tomorrow, possibly Thursday as well. But for now, let's have a breather. Have a great one. Have a great rest of your night. We'll possibly see you guys here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central. If not, I will let you guys know on my Facebook page. Thank you so much. And you just got your fix with the Wicks. Appreciate it, guys. Have a great one.